My first thought is Stroh's an amazing place with amazing fans, and I want to thank them first and foremost. We haven't had the greatest season, but I think our fans appreciate our young women and their effort, and they always show up. So I want to thank them first. Also want to, make sure that, we recognize how good Toledo is. Coach Cullop's a tremendous coach, and she's been a tremendous coach in this conference for years. So, it's still not a good feeling, but we do know that was a really good opponent. I thought Lockett had a tremendous game. I thought she affected it in many ways, got to her spots at will, sometimes with and sometimes without resistance. At 7 assists as well as 26 points. So huge impact on the game, and credit to them, and credit to our young women for not giving up for 4 quarters. I thought they gave it their all. I don't think that we played particularly well in some areas and in some spots and stretches of the game, but it's not for a lack of effort.
Obviously, the turnovers and Toledo's points off turnovers were huge. That middle of the third quarter, they had 6 points in about 30 seconds off turnovers. Just how tough was that aspect, and how much does maybe just fatigue affect that at all, as far as having to play, a lot of these players so many minutes?
Yeah, at this point, we're pretty used to being down on personnel, so we're not going to make any excuses. I thought we did a really good job the last 3 days breaking the press and against our practice guys who offer a pretty good press. And we got into the game and we didn't quite execute the way that we did in practice. So that is my fault, and we will rectify that moving forward.
Amy kind of mentioned, as far as, some of these players playing so many minutes and everything like that, it has a pretty positive attitude about it and everything. I mean, just how does the team feel, with especially, Paige is playing basically every minute, some of these things. How are they kind of feeling, just about kind of this stretch?
Yeah, well, first off, Amy only played 39 minutes and 56 seconds, so I don't know what the big deal is. She got 4 seconds rest in there somewhere. I don't know why I did that, but they're used to it. They're conditioned for it. At this point, we have who we have. We're just going to keep on moving forward. We're going to get better on Monday. We're going to get better on Tuesday. And we're going to be ready to go on Wednesday. I'd make no excuses for fatigue, for lack of players, for lack of execution. It lands on our shoulders, and in mine particular, and we will do better.
Morgan Sharp, 6 threes. I think she started off a little slow and then really got hot that second quarter.
Yep.
To back that off, an 8-point or 8 threes the other night, just kind of talk a little bit maybe about her stretch here and everything like that.
Yeah, Mo's a tremendous shooter. She doesn't need much room. I thought in the first half she maybe didn't get off those screens quite as quickly, and we didn't do a good job of getting her as open as we usually do. But those shots are there for her to take. She is somebody that we depend on to score. And if she's not shooting the ball early, then we're going to be lacking in the offensive end. But she stepped it up in the second half in particular and shot the ball really well.
After your last home game, you preached rebounding. Seems like a bit of a difference today. What were your thoughts on that aspect of the game?
Yeah, there's a lot of different rebounding drills, but none of them really make any sense in the course of a game. It's about determination and heart and discipline, and I thought we did a pretty good job defensive rebounding. They're not quite Troy on the offensive glass, but they are formidable. So I do recognize that. I think we did do a decent job on the glass.
Any other questions?
One last one. When your bigs early on in that first half give us some foul trouble, how does that sort of play into the factor of how you kind of adjust Toledo's offense on a defensive perspective?
Yeah, we came out in a zone to kind of protect our players, and a zone isn't the determining factor why we didn't get off to a good start. I would say, I don't particularly like playing zone, but I think it's a necessity for us at this point to kind of take care of our players and keep them out of foul trouble. But we picked up fouls on the offensive end, which we just can't do. We have to make some adjustments offensively and make sure that we're not picking up those fouls.